It all began with a single photo. One careless tag on social media. There she was, my girlfriend of 3 years, smiling just a little too close to her ex at his birthday party. A party she never mentioned. A night she told me she was staying in. My stomach dropped. At first, I tried to convince myself it was nothing. But denial only lasts so long. That picture wasn't just a snapshot. It was the crack in the foundation, the proof of secrets she thought I'd never uncover. The real question wasn't if Emily was cheating. It was how long she'd been lying. And I was about to find out. My name is Daniel Reed, 34 years old, a financial consultant from Denver. On paper, my life looked stable. For 3 years, I'd been with Emily, a woman everyone believed was my perfect match. Just 6 months earlier, we'd taken the biggest step yet. We bought a house together. A 2-story place in a quiet neighborhood, the kind of home I thought we'd raise a family in one day. I handled the mortgage and bills. She decorated every corner with her Pinterest-inspired vision. To friends, we were the picture of domestic bliss. But reality was different. Over the last year, Emily had changed. She was glued to her phone more than ever, whispering in the kitchen late at night. She'd started claiming to work late on projects even though she never used to. When we did spend time together, she seemed distracted, disinterested, like her body was in the room but her mind was elsewhere. I tried to explain it away. Stress, exhaustion, maybe just a rough patch. Couples go through that, right? Then came the photo. Scrolling through Facebook one night, I froze. Emily, dressed to kill, holding a drink, standing shoulder to shoulder with Jason, her ex. His birthday party. A party I hadn't even heard about. She looked radiant in the picture, glowing in a way I hadn't seen in months. And the smile she wore? That wasn't a casual smile. That was the kind of smile you give someone you want. When I confronted her, I expected excuses, maybe even tears. Instead, she rolled her eyes. Yes, I went. It wasn't a big deal. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd react like this. React like what? Like a man who just discovered his girlfriend had lied about where she was, who she was with, and why she hid it. Her calm indifference, her complete lack of guilt, told me more than any confession could. That night, I didn't sleep in our bed. I lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling. My mind raced, but instead of exploding in anger, I grew still, cold, focused. If Emily thought I would yell, argue, or beg, she had no idea who she was dealing with. The next morning, I emailed a lawyer. I wanted answers about the house, buyout options, forced sale, partition orders. I wasn't going to be trapped by a mortgage with someone who clearly didn't respect me. And I wanted the legal wheels turning before Emily even knew what hit her. Outwardly, I played my role. I smiled at breakfast, asked about her plans, kissed her cheek as if nothing had changed. But inside? Inside I was detaching piece by piece. She thought she was keeping secrets. She had no idea I was building my own. Emily's mask started to slip more with each passing week. She grew reckless, as if she no longer cared whether I noticed. She'd sit beside me on the couch, texting Jason under the table, her lips curling into a smirk at jokes I wasn't privy to. Sometimes she'd leave her phone face down, only to snatch it up the second I glanced toward it. Other times, she'd vanish for weekend brunches with the girls that somehow lasted until midnight. I stopped asking questions. Asking only gave her room to spin new lies. Instead, I observed. And I documented. Outwardly, I remained the same steady boyfriend, warm, calm, predictable. Inwardly, I was methodical. I opened a private bank account under my name only. Quietly transferred small amounts of money so she wouldn't notice. Photographed tax documents, mortgage papers, and insurance forms, all stored neatly in a hidden drive. I even kept a handwritten journal logging her work events and girls' nights. Dates, times, excuses, all cross-checked with her social media activity. The more I wrote, the clearer the picture became. Emily wasn't just drifting away. She was investing in Jason, piece by piece, while keeping me in the background as financial security. The breaking point came one Tuesday afternoon when the official letter from my lawyer arrived at the house. I'd instructed him to draft a formal notice about initiating the sale of our jointly owned property. Emily ripped the envelope open, her eyes scanning the words before her face flushed crimson. "What the hell is this, Daniel?" she shouted, voice trembling with fury. "You're selling the house? Without even talking to me?" I didn't flinch. "You can either agree to the terms, or the court will decide for us." Her jaw dropped, but before she could launch into another tirade, she stormed out of the room and dialed her sister, Megan. Within minutes, my phone lit up with Megan's number. She came in hot. "Daniel, what the hell are you doing to my sister?" I let her finish. Then, in silence, I forwarded a few choice screenshots, Emily telling Jason, "Daniel's clueless, I can keep this up forever." Another one, "Once Jason's stable, I'll figure out how to leave without losing the house." The line went quiet. Then Megan whispered almost to herself, "Oh my God." Her biggest ally, neutralized in one move. When Emily came home later, she tried gaslighting me with practiced ease. "You're blowing this out of proportion. Jason's just a friend. You're paranoid." But her words carried no weight anymore. I'd seen too much, documented too much. I wasn't paranoid, I was prepared. That's when the real shift happened inside me. Emily still thought she was 2 steps ahead, juggling me and Jason like pieces on a chessboard. But what she didn't know, I was done playing defense. I was building toward checkmate. I called it my silent war. No screaming matches, no slammed doors, just cold, calculated steps executed with precision. Step 1 was financial control. For years, I'd been the one managing most of our bills, the mortgage, the shared credit card. Quietly, I rerouted my paycheck into my new private account. A week later, Emily woke up furious when her card was declined at a boutique. She waved the receipt in my face like it was my problem. I just shrugged, pretending it must have been a bank error. She had no idea she was already cut off. Step 2 was legal leverage. With the lawyer's letter ignored, we escalated. My attorney filed for a court-ordered sale of the house. Legally, she couldn't block it. The property we once celebrated as our dream home had become my ultimate weapon. Step 3 was reputation management. I didn't go around trashing her. That's what she expected. Instead, whenever mutual friends asked what happened, I gave the same calm reply: "You should ask Emily." Then, if they pressed further, I forwarded screenshots, her texts with Jason, her mocking comments about me, even her plans to use me until she could move in with him. The effect was devastating. Emily tried spinning the story, painting me as insecure, controlling, but the evidence cut through her lies. Her circle began to fracture. Some friends pulled back, others confronted her directly. Megan, her once loyal sister, had already gone quiet after I'd shown her the truth. One by one, Emily's support system eroded, leaving her exposed. And then came my favorite discovery: Jason wasn't the prize she thought he was. Through a friend of mine, I learned Jason was already seeing someone else. Not a casual fling, but a serious relationship. He wasn't planning a future with Emily. She was just the side piece, the ego boost, the late-night fallback when his real girlfriend wasn't around. The irony was brutal. Emily had gambled everything: our relationship, our home, her reputation, for a man who didn't even value her. And she didn't know it yet. I debated telling her, shoving that final piece of truth in her face. But then I realized, I didn't need to. Life was already setting the trap for her. The collapse of her finances, the unraveling of her friendships, and the emptiness waiting when Jason inevitably discarded her, that would sting far more than anything I could say. My job was simple: keep executing the plan, keep pulling away piece by piece, until there was nothing left for her to cling to. This wasn't just revenge. This was reclamation. I wasn't destroying Emily. She was destroying herself. I was just giving her the stage and the spotlight. Court day arrived like a storm cloud I'd been tracking for weeks. Emily strutted in with her lawyer, dressed sharp, chin high, still convinced she could charm her way out of the truth. I sat calmly beside my attorney, a folder of evidence neatly organized. I didn't need theatrics. I had facts. When the judge called us forward, my lawyer laid it all out like clockwork. Screenshots of Emily's late-night texts with Jason. Photos of their weekend trips, complete with hotel receipts charged to our joint card, bank statements showing her siphoning money for her escapades. And finally, the smoking gun, the social media posts where she'd tagged along at Jason's birthday, smiling like a woman without a care in the world. Emily tried to spin it. She dabbed fake tears, painted me as controlling and calculating, claiming I was trying to ruin her life because I couldn't handle her independence. But the judge wasn't buying it. He leaned back, reviewed the documents, and delivered his verdict with the weight of a gavel. The property will be sold. Profits divided evenly. Case closed. Emily's face drained of color. 4 months she'd fought to hold onto the house, our biggest shared asset, her symbol of stability. Now it was slipping right through her fingers. The sale went through within 2 months. The market was hot, and the house sold fast. My share of the profits funded a sleek downtown apartment, minimalist, modern, and entirely mine. For the first time in years, I felt at peace when I closed the door behind me. No lies. No double life. Just quiet. Emily? She wasn't so lucky. With no savings of her own and no credit left to lean on, she was forced to move back in with her parents. Friends told me she was humiliated, skulking around her hometown like a ghost of her former self. And Jason, the man she risked everything for, had vanished. He'd ghosted her completely, refusing calls, blocking her number. The kicker? Within weeks, word spread that Jason was engaged to someone else. Emily wasn't his future. She wasn't even his present. She was just a distraction. The fallout was brutal. Our mutual circle knew the truth. Screenshots had a way of traveling fast. Emily's reputation crumbled. The woman who once basked in admiration now carried the stain of betrayal. Even Megan, her once loyal sister, distanced herself, too embarrassed to defend her anymore. As for me, I didn't gloat. I didn't post about it, didn't throw insults, didn't raise my voice. My revenge was silence, paperwork, and the undeniable weight of truth. And the beauty of it all? Emily had scripted her own downfall. I'd simply hit play. Looking back, I see now that Emily's betrayal was never just about another man. Cheating was only the surface wound. What cut deeper was the disrespect, the way she dismissed me, mocked my trust, and assumed I would never have the strength to fight back. Emily thought I was predictable, too stable, too invested in the house, in her, in the life we'd built, to ever walk away. She saw me as safe but weak. And that was her greatest mistake. Because what she never realized was that silence doesn't mean surrender. It means patience. It means I was planning something bigger than an argument she could twist into my fault. When the dust settled, I didn't just lose a girlfriend. I lost a liar, a manipulator, a woman who saw me as a stepping stone instead of a partner. And in losing her, I gained something far more valuable: freedom. The house sold. The money slipped. But my peace of mind, untangled from her lies, was priceless. Emily ended up with nothing but regret. No Jason to run to, no house to cling to, no credibility in the eyes of her friends and family. She burned every bridge she thought she could walk across. I'll admit, for a while, I replayed everything in my head, wondering if I'd missed the warning signs. But the truth is, the signs were there from the start. I just didn't want to believe them. That's the lesson I carry now. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Don't drown in excuses. Don't wait for them to get better. The most powerful thing you can do when betrayed isn't to scream or throw plates. It's to protect your dignity. To act with intention. To let the truth do the work anger never could. Today, I walk into my apartment and feel light. No lies lurking in the background. No constant doubt. Just me, rebuilding. And while Emily may never admit it, the silence that followed her downfall says it all. She lost someone who would have given her everything, and she'll never get that back. For me, revenge wasn't about destruction. It was about clarity. About showing her, and myself, that I wasn't anyone's fool. And that's the message I'd pass on to anyone listening. If you're caught in a web of lies, don't waste your energy screaming at the spider. Just burn down the web, walk away, and never look back. That was my story, but now I want to hear yours. Have you ever been betrayed by someone who swore they loved you, only to find out you were nothing more than a safety net? How did you handle it? Did you walk away with quiet strength? Or did you deliver a cold, calculated revenge? Share your story in the comments below. I read everyone. And if you love raw cheating stories with real consequences, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more.